In this video, we're going to test a compressor just like this one. This is from a Audi A4, and we're going to be testing the n280 sensor, or the valve, which is right here, and it lets the refrigerant flow into the compressor, and if it doesn't get the signal from the G65 sensor, which is another pressure sensor on the system, it won't open that valve, which means the compressor won't be able to compress your refrigerant. We're going to hook up the test light with some jumper cables to the n280 wire. Now we'll turn on the car, and the air conditioning needs to be on full, low, and then the highest fan speed. That light bulb should be on right now, but it's not. Now we're going to hook up 12 volts to the n280 valve. Whenever we apply the 12 volts from the transformer, you'll hear it click. With the camera a little bit closer, you can hear it a little bit better. I have some R134A refrigerant hooked up to the manifold gauges, and the low side is open, and then both of the couplers down here are also open. The low side is open, but the high side of the manifold gauges is going to stay closed because we don't want refrigerant flowing through that line. Now we'll start up the car and manually turn on the n280 valve. We'll connect the n280 to 12 volts and then look at the gauges. Alright, you can see the low side's going down in pressure. That's a good sign. That means it's pulling in our refrigerant, and then the high side is going up. On measure blocks 001 in the auto HVAC section, we have 6 bar of pressure. The compressor will kick on if the pressure is above 2 bar at least. So we're above 2 bar and the compressor should be kicking on, but it's not. And in measure block 002, the compressor code is 0, which means it's calling for the compressor to turn on, but it's not. So there's a breakdown in the communication somewhere. In conclusion, we were able to determine that the compressor is good whenever we put 12 volts directly to it. But using this testing bulb, we were able to tell that we're not getting the signal to the compressor, and if we were getting a signal to the compressor, it would kick on. We'd see that in our gauges, which we saw whenever we hooked 12 volts up directly to it. So there's a breakdown in the communication somewhere. It's not getting the signal. So it could be the G65 sensor, which senses when the pressure in the system is correct, and if it's too low, it'll tell the compressor not to turn on, and if it's too high, it will tell the compressor not to turn on as well. So if that's bad, then it could give a faulty signal to the compressor. If it can't send the signal, so there's lots of things in the system that could cause it, but we know we're not getting the signal at the compressor.